As Marc Marquez celebrates his fifth straight victory after Brno, all eyes are on the championship fight. Yet behind the curtains, another race is heating up, the 2026 MotoGP rider market. While the battle on the track commands attention, an equally intense contest is taking place off it, involving agents, team managers, riders, contracts, and even public mind games. At the start of 2025, the silly season wasn't supposed to be dramatic. Most major riders had deals extending through 2026, seemingly locking down the grid early. But all it took was one unexpected move: Jorge Martin's decision to activate an exit clause with Aprilia to unravel months of planning and trigger a cascade of uncertainty across the paddock. Martin's frustrations reportedly stemmed from Aprilia's developmental direction and his injury recovery process. His manager, Albert Valera, publicly confirmed they were looking at other options, and speculation quickly followed. Honda, starved of top-tier talent, immediately began talks, hoping to land a big name. But Aprilia's CEO, Massimo Rivola, was quick to shut down rumors. He stated firmly that Martin had a valid contract through 2026, and there was no exit. Yet, the real twist came when Martin reversed his decision and reaffirmed his commitment to Aprilia at the Brno round, putting an end to what could have been the most high-profile switch in years. That single U-turn reshuffled the entire rider market. One door closed, others cracked open. The next major name on the radar is Pedro Acosta. While officially signed with Red Bull KTM Factory Racing through 2026, Acosta has made it clear he wants more. He's been vocal about his desire for a machine capable of consistent race wins, not just flashes of performance. KTM's RC16 has potential, but reliability and pace consistency have fallen short of Acosta's expectations. Rumors circulated that Acosta's entourage met informally with Valentino Rossi's VR46 team. Team principal Uccio Solucci later clarified the meeting, saying Pedro merely asked about VR46's long-term plans. Even so, it shows that Acosta is already thinking beyond his current deal. KTM insists their four-rider structure remains unchanged. Acosta and Brad Binder in the factory team, Enea Bastianini and Maverick Vinales at Tech 3. However, if the results don't meet Acosta's ambition, it's only a matter of time before bigger offers tempt him elsewhere, especially with VR46 and Honda lurking. No manufacturer faces a more complicated puzzle than Honda. Joan Mir remains under contract through 2026, but his form has been disappointing: 8 DNFs from 12 races. Brazilian journalist Guilherme Longo reported that Honda is evaluating an early termination. That opens the door to Johann Zarco, who has shown consistent flashes aboard the LCR Honda and is openly lobbying for a factory ride. Zarco's performances have sparked genuine interest, and he's publicly stated his desire to move up. But Honda might be eyeing a younger solution. Moto2 standout Diogo Moreira is rumored to have signed a 3-year contract with HRC, likely slotting into LCR in place of Samkiat Chantra, who has struggled with both injuries and pace in 2025. Luca Marini, meanwhile, is expected to stay put after extending his contract with Honda's factory outfit. Earlier contingency plans had suggested moving Marini to LCR if Martin had joined Honda, but that plan is now off the table. With Martin remaining at Aprilia, Marini's position appears stable for the near term. Franco Morbidelli's future, however, remains on shaky ground. He signed a 1-year deal with VR46 Ducati for 2025, and while his results have been solid, they've not been game-changing. VR46's Uccio Solucci said they are happy with Franco, but conversations are still ongoing. Acosta's name has been loosely connected to a future VR46 deal, possibly for 2027, meaning Morbidelli's fate could rest on dominoes outside his control. A major confirmed move for 2026 is the highly anticipated arrival of Toprak Razgatlioglu from World SBK. The 2-time World SBK champion will join Pramac Yamaha and become the centerpiece of Yamaha's V4 revolution. His rear-end sliding style is tailor-made for spectacle, and his transition marks a seismic moment for both Yamaha and the sport. However, Razgatlioglu's entry creates a squeeze. Jack Miller, on a 1-year deal with Pramac, is seen as the most likely to remain. Yamaha reportedly values his adaptability and experience. But Miguel Oliveira, despite being under contract through 2026, faces performance-triggered exit clauses. If results don't improve, he could be out. Even Miller's future isn't secure. He's been linked to a potential return to KTM or a surprise move to Aprilia, although the latter seems closed now with Martin and Bezzecchi locked in. Aprilia's satellite team, Trackhouse, is more stable. Raul Fernandez and rookie Ayumu Sasaki are under 2-year deals, but whispers remain that Fernandez's position might not be 100% safe. Aprilia is evaluating all options. Fernandez has delivered solid top 10 results, improving his standing, but with no room in the factory team and their backup list shrinking. Marini and Bastianini were both linked before securing other rides. Aprilia's choices are limited. Ducati, in contrast, is operating from a position of strength and clarity. Marc Marquez and Pecco Bagnaia remain at the factory team through 2026, forming arguably the strongest duo on the grid. At Gresini, Alex Marquez pairs with breakout rookie Fermin Aldeguer. At VR46, Fabio Di Giannantonio begins his new factory-supported role this year, also contracted until 2026. The only uncertainty is Franco Morbidelli's seat at VR46, which could depend on whether Ducati reshuffles its satellite structure or secures another rising star. Beyond that, Ducati's long-term planning is focused on the 2027 regulation era. World SBK sensation Nicolo Bulega will remain in SBK with Aruba.it Racing, but will also serve as Ducati's official MotoGP test rider. Davide Tardozzi confirmed Bulega's inclusion in Ducati's strategic plans. Alongside Aldeguer, Bulega will help prepare the next generation of Ducati talent. It's a smart play, grooming young stars while the current elite keep winning. Over at Yamaha, Fabio Quartararo and Alex Rins are both locked in through 2026. But despite his high salary, Quartararo has not hidden his frustrations with Yamaha's lack of progress. He's warned he won't stay if the project doesn't improve. Rins, meanwhile, hasn't made much of an impact since switching teams, and if the V4 doesn't deliver, Yamaha could be forced to reshuffle earlier than expected. Razgatlioglu's arrival adds another layer. If he adapts quickly, he could become Yamaha's new face. If not, the gamble could backfire. At the same time, Ducati is playing the long game, with Bulega ready to step up when the regulations shift and the current roster begins to evolve. As of now, seats remain officially unresolved for 2026. Franco Morbidelli's future at VR46 hangs in the balance. Jack Miller's position at Pramac is up for grabs, though he's still a strong contender. Johan Zarco is actively campaigning to remain in HRC's plans, and Samkiat Chantra appears almost certainly out, pending Moreira's likely promotion. Then there's Joan Mir. Despite his contract, continued underperformance could see Honda cut ties early. His next move, if released, could be to LCR or even World SBK. In the current MotoGP climate, even long-term deals are no longer guarantees. Exit clauses, mid-season pivots, and PR spin are now just part of the game. The 2026 grid is shaping up to be a mix of hardened champions, bold rookies, and strategic gambles. Whether it's Acosta flexing his leverage, Jorge Martin making a calculated U-turn, or Diogo Moreira quietly preparing to shock the paddock, one thing is clear. This rider market is still unfolding. As one veteran team principal said off the record, you don't believe anything until the press release drops. And even then, it might change. In MotoGP, the race off the track can be just as wild as the one on it. Stay tuned.